BJP repeating the stellar performance of 2014 is the breaking news on our channel, and that's something that not many gave the BJP a chance that they would be able to repeat and probably better their last election tally. What were the investors thinking in the lead up to counting day? Did they expect the BJP to do better than 2014?
Well, I think everyone got a bit spooked by the state elections in MP Chhattisgarh, where Congress sort of came fighting back, and actually before that in Gujarat, in effectively a home game for Modi, it didn't go that well. So I think people were slightly anxious. Here they're going to be changing their mind.
Fair enough, Jasper. I'm afraid we have to wrap this little chat up because Palki and Kartikeya are with all the gentlemen on the table. In fact, there's only Kartikeya at this point in time, and Palki is about to join him. Kartikeya, I hand it back to you. Better than 2014, Kartikeya? Who would have thought?
Oh, absolutely. No one saw the wave coming, but the fact is that the wave was there, and the fact of the matter is that the Modi has done perhaps better than 2014, 2014, he had a mover's advantage, someone who came from outside. But this time he was an incumbent. And despite that, Narendra Modi has been able to not only consolidate in areas where BJP was strong, but he has been able to expand Bharatiya Janata Party in areas like West Bengal, Odisha, and given a good fight even in states like Kerala. There are a lot of takeaways. But before that, now let's take a look at the states which seem to have been retained by Bharatiya Janata Party in its full or maximum strength as compared to the 2014 polls. The following is as per the trends so far. We start with Gujarat. BJP is leading on all 25 seats. It is repeating its 2014 performance when it clinched all the seats. The BJP is leading all the 26 seats. In Haryana, Bharatiya Janata Party seems to have improved its tally from 7 to 10 out of 10 seats. Moving on to Jharkhand, where the trends so far point at 1 seat increase for the Bharatiya Janata Party from 12 out of 14. Its number has increased to 13 seats. This is the most surprising part because there was a huge grand alliance against Bharatiya Janata Party. It did not create a consolidation. In fact, it led to a counter-consolidation for Bharatiya Janata Party in Jharkhand. In Rajasthan, there is 1 seat decline so far. The BJP had won all 25 seats last time around. It stands at 24. In Himachal Pradesh, BJP is revealing its stellar performance from 2014. It's leading on all 4 seats. Assam is witnessing a 3-seat increase for Bharatiya Janata Party. The Saffron Party is leading on 10 seats out of 14 seats, and the importance here is that people thought that because of the NRC issue, the votes may go to the Congress party, the Congress alliance, but it did not happen. And people have restored faith in Prime Minister Modi.
Right. In fact, here's another interesting figure. Let me give you the list of states where the BJP has more than 50% of the vote share. More than 50%. Delhi, Jharkhand, UP, Karnataka, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh 69%, Madhya Pradesh 58%, Rajasthan 59%, Uttarakhand 60%. This is vote share, not seats.
It's unheard of.
And it said that after 1948, if I'm not wrong, no party got more than 40% of vote share.
Except in 1984.
In 1984.
Rajiv Gandhi. 48%.
Vote share.
Yeah. But
this is more than 50%.
Even Nehru didn't get...
It was said that if they cross 30%, that will be significant if the BJP on its own. But here the BJP is getting more than 50% in all these states. What do you make of that?
I think this is a complete collapse of the Congress party, complete collapse of the left party. And the surprising thing is UP. In UP, the Gachbandhan thought they could break into, but caste is now less important, performance is important.
उसको संवेदनशील बनाने के लिए वो पर्याय बन गए हैं देश को मजबूत करने के लिए।
किसी कैंडिडेट के नाम पर वोट नहीं चल पड़ा है, मोदी के नाम पर वोट।
Rajyavardhan Rathore, first time MP in 2014, made a minister. He grew from strength to strength and contesting once again from his Jaipur rural seat and tipped to win from that one. We were talking about the vote share. More than 50% is going to be historic.
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a tectonic shift in Indian politics. I think the second half of today we should really go into it deeply, what the implications are. But I was also thinking about a state like Tamil Nadu, where so many of the tainted, figures have been leading, Kanimozhi, Raja, Karti Chidambaram. So I think it means that, at least in Tamil Nadu, scandals don't seem to affect the way people are voting,
I think it's the duality of Indian politics.
Tamil Nadu is also a state where there's been this vacuum. Many have said that Stalin is rising because there is no credible alternative.
Yes, you see, I think as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, we also have to look at the performance of AIA, DMK and BJP alliance in the sense that probably BJP has kind of ensured that there is not complete decimation of AIA, DMK. And mind you, again, I'll come back to the same thing. Even in a state like Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin had to come out on April 9th and make a statement that DMK is not an anti-Hindu party. And my wife is a devout Hindu who does puja every day. So, the bottom line is that this, again, I've been saying this, this Hindu consolidation or this anti-Hindu stand of the parties, they have to shed this stand if they really want to survive in Indian politics now. Because if it is happening in a state like Tamil Nadu where MK Stalin, DMK, we know the foundation of DMK was on the whole anti-Brahminical and sort of kind of anti-Hindu thing. Even if they have to change their pitch to get these many, I'm not saying that this is the only factor, but if Stalin had to come out and make this statement, so this tells you something about what is happening.
What's your take on how Tamil Nadu is voting?
Yeah, I love Tamil Nadu. I mean, I live in Tamil Nadu part-time, but it's a very sad story. Do you know that DMK is one of the most corrupt parties proved in court, in India, and that they do so well, and that people re-elect Mr. Raja,
but the voters of Tamil Nadu aren't spoiled for choice when it comes to corrupt leaders, are they?
No, but it's a sad story. It's a sign that Indian politics is not really changing. That the dynasty still wins, that corruption still wins. So it's a bad sign.
How courts function in India. It takes years and years for cases to be decided. I mean, this scandal happened in the previous UPA regime, and they're still to be finalized.
And also, what I would like. Can I add something? I think the vote, the sweep of the BJP is a vote in trust, a vote of hope. Because on the ground, the BJP, has not done that well economically. There have been reforms which created a lot of problems. So it's a vote of hope, of trust, that we trust you, that you're going to do great things. Because on the ground, there's a contradiction.
That should also bring a lot of pressure. These numbers should also bring a lot of pressure. If so many people, more than 50% vote share in so many states, means that you better deliver now.
I mean, given all the thing about farmers' distress and unemployment, all those GST and demonetization, all those things, it probably misled the people who had created the sensation. I've been looking at the evidence, and I always look at all this electrification and road building and all that, and those things are all solid, and that absolutely helped. They know what to do.
During the campaign, Mr. Modi coined this pro-incumbency. When everybody talks about anti-incumbency, he said pro-incumbency. Probably that's what we are seeing.
Sure. But about Tamil Nadu, let me say one thing. Tamil Nadu is different from other states because your local MP delivers. It's always based on delivery.
Mr. Raja delivered?
Is it there?
Mr. Raja delivered?
Delivered for him.
I don't know whether that's for his constituents. He may deliver.
Have you seen the house he built for himself? Have you seen the house he built for himself? I want to say about
It's also different. It was terribly corrupt. Everyone knew that, and yet you had development. You could have development and corruption. Look at Punjab. At its most corrupt area in 34 years, it was the fastest growing state in India. So it's not a necessary contradiction that you have corruption and lack of growth. In fact, you can have both.
The only state where one constituency has not voted, where the election was cancelled, is also in Tamil Nadu. That is Vellore. We have R. Jagannath. with us of the BJP. Mr. Jagannath, it looks like the BJP is coming back and coming back with bigger numbers than 2014.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both the media and especially the English language media and the opposition misread the mood. The mood was not for significant change. There was some disappointment on some fronts after demonetization, slowdown, farm distress, jobs issue. But the point is, the key message coming through is that if you seem to be performing or seem to be somebody moving in the right direction, even if the results are not already in and people can't yet feel the difference that you've delivered, it actually they will give you another chance. People are not that unforgiving that immediately if you're not delivered, that they are going to vote you out. The second point is, we forget one small thing. Modi ji's schemes were very interesting in the way they were crafted. He made sure that some element of some scheme touched almost every single household. That is, when you say Jan Dhan, every household is covered. Ayushman Bharat, 50% of the population is covered. Ujjwala, you will say something 8 or 10 crore people are getting covered. Can you imagine? And of course, electricity, last mile is being delivered. So if you actually see, last time they got about 17 to 18 crore votes, and they were targeting 22 crore plus votes. And that, what they have done is, by micro-targeting small benefits to every single household, they gave them a small hope. While gas cylinder arriving at a home may not be a huge shift in your total life, but it tells you that this guy has given me something, maybe he will deliver something more. That is what is the thing. Last 2014 was about hope. 2019 was that some of the hope has been delivered, maybe not all the tall promises, but it looks like this guy wants to deliver, and why shouldn't we give him another chance? The other fellows anyway are not an alternative. They are promising the moon, saying I'll give you 6,000 rupees a month and things like that. And said, if this guy can't deliver, why do I think I expect Rahul Gandhi to deliver? So that is the fundamental difference. There was no alternative, and the guy who is there in power has delivered something. There is hope that he will deliver even more.
Right. So with the way things are going, with the way the numbers are coming in, Mr. Jagannath, do you believe that India is now going to be ruled by a party without, if not credible, an opposition which is really meaningful, which can make any difference, given the way the numbers look?
No, look, I think in the short term that's how it's going to look, because the opposition will be in disarray. But I think we should never write off the opposition in any state. I think the opposition got its strategy wrong, because they started targeting Modi. Everybody says we will make sure he doesn't come back, we'll keep him out, he's this, he's that. I mean, that the problem is they played right into Modi's hands. Modi wanted this to be a presidential election. It wanted it to be about him. And when people say, look, he doesn't look all that bad to us now, why the hell are you going on and on about him? So the minute they realized that, they said, look, maybe there must be something in this that the whole world seems to want to throw him out. So he was not some kind of a negative figure. He was a popular leader. And the opposition played right into his hand by directing all their bile at him. I mean, I can't think of a more daft policy than this. This is exactly what they have done, and they got their just desserts.
So do you feel that the campaign which was built around Prime Minister Modi was such that it created multiple messaging, one messaging for the middle class, one messaging in context of security, one messaging in context of social welfare schemes like Ujjwala, and the contrast was Nyay and Rafale, which completely flopped?
Yeah. See, we have to realize that in any Indian election, there is no one single factor. I mean, it can happen, like say in 1984, after Indira Gandhi's assassination, one single factor made all the difference to that vote. But in most normal elections, where you do not have one overwhelming reason for people to vote for or against a party, it's a multitude of things that actually makes a difference. So Modi realized that on the economic front, he is yet to fully deliver on certain areas like jobs and farms. So he says, look, here is my advance installment of 4,000 rupees for farmers. I've helped the middle class. I'll give you tax relief for this year and various things. So the thing is, economic performance alone is not enough to win or defeat anybody. So they have done on multiple fronts. So when you take all the parameters together, you then choose like, okay, this seems to be the best alternative. I think Modi and Shah have understood this far better than almost any other political party. That's the reason they're winning.
Right, they're winning, and they're winning by a huge margin, with big numbers, and that also the flip side of that is a lot of expectation. What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge and the top priority that should be the top priority for the next government?
Yeah, very simple. Your top priority has to be jobs, jobs, jobs. Because even the question of farm distress is really that there are too many people on the farm with not enough of a job and with low incomes. So unless you get people off the jobs, so this government should not focus on statistics like GDP, 7%, fastest growing. Just focus every single policy that will create jobs. How do you reform the labor market? How do you reform the land market? How do you reform the agriculture market? If you reform these three-factor markets, jobs will start booming. They will actually, any minor turnaround in the economic scenario will see an increase in the number of jobs created. There is already a small upturn in the last 2 years after the disruptions of GST and demonetization, but you're going to see more of that now. If you focus on just this one fact, the GDP is a derived number. I mean, if you grow jobs and incomes, GDP will automatically grow up. So don't focus on GDP statistics. Focus on the micro level things that you need to do to get jobs growth up. And if you do that, you are home and dry. And I can tell you that the Modi government, if it has learned its lesson in the last 5 years that it took the wrong priorities up front, if they just focus on jobs, 2024 is also going to be a dream, because if you have an economy firing on all cylinders and you deliver on jobs, there is no way you can stop the BJP again, unless of course some other things. I'm of course looking too far into the future, but I'm saying this needs to be the only priority for any government in India.